Hey guys, so it is time for my March wrap up. I read 6 books this month and it was a slower reading month. Work is really busy for me right now, but it was such a good reading month. So many good books came out of it. The first one that I read was Heartless Hunter, which was a reread for me, and it was just as good the second time around. 4.75 stars. It's about a witch named Rune Winters who is also the Crimson Moth, and she is trying to find somebody who's going to be able to give her information so she can break witches out of prison. And then you have Gideon Sharp, who is a witch hunter and is trying to catch the Crimson Moth, and he thinks it's Rune, but it's not sure, and they pretend to date each other to basically outwit the other person. And this author does enemies to lovers so well. I loved this book. The one thing that I will say that I was a little shocked by is it's classified as young adult, and I feel like it was a little spicy for a young adult. Like, I'm thinking closed door romance, and while it was closed door, it's just a little bit more graphic than what I would expect from a young adult. So take that as you will, but would highly recommend this book. Then the next book I read was Fireborne by Rosaria Munda, and this was the book that I posted the video about 5 stars instantly. Like, I was getting the vibes so early on, and I was not wrong at all. It was such a good book. It follows 2 characters, Lee and Annie, and Annie was born as a servant in this world, where Lee was born as basically one of the royals. It's not necessarily called a royal in this world, but he was born as one of the royals and all his family was killed, and so him and Annie were raised together, and now it's just showing the complexities between them and the political turmoil that's going on. There's a little bit of competition, some romance, and I just think that author does this book. It's just beautiful. And the thing that I really love about it is the fact that it doesn't have any spice, it doesn't have any cussing, and the story can just stand on its own. And I feel like that is so lost in our society today. We've gotten into such spicy books, and there are some books that without that, it can't even hold the story well. And so I adore this series. Love the dual POV. It was just phenomenal. Then I read Rebel Witch, which is the second book to Heartless Hunter. And again, this author is so good at enemies to lovers. Like, it is just magnificent. And again, the spice was a little bit more than what I was expecting it to be. I think I gave this book 4.5 stars. I will say this book is super predictable. I saw everything coming from a mile away, but it did not matter to me. I loved this book regardless. Just another good book. Again, would highly recommend this book, this author in general. I haven't read anything else by her, but these 2 books are so good. Read them if you haven't. Then I was listening to Quicksilver by Callie Hart this whole time. And it honestly took me a little while to get through this book, which kind of surprised me because I've heard of this book everywhere. Like, it has totally blown up. And so I expected this to be one that I dove right into and fell in love with the characters immediately, but that did not happen for me at all. I feel like I was halfway, if not further than that, before I really got into it. I felt like the language that she was using, it just didn't vibe with me with the story for a really long time. And I think the other thing that I realized from at least the first 3 books that I read this month versus Quicksilver was that I'm an acts of service girl, or like, show me that you love me. And I feel like all those other books did it so well, where they weren't, like, you could tell there was attraction there, but there was so much more complex emotions and things happening to create the love story. Where this one, I feel like it was just instant attraction and there was absolutely nothing that like brought the love story along. Like they were just attracted to each other and had sex. And that was that. So I think that also was just another layer that made me not instantly love this book. But it got better. I gave it 4 stars. So yeah, I will be reading the next book, but it's not one of my favorites. So there's that one. And then I listened to Crave, and I had started this book probably 2 times before this, and I never got into it. It is young adult, and it's very obvious that it's young adult. The way the author describes things, it's kind of cringy. For example, the author uses the term AF so many times in this book, like, oh, he's sexy AF, which I just did not enjoy at all. And I was looking at the ratings on Goodreads for these books, and the first one definitely has a lower rating. So I'm gonna keep going with it and see how it goes. But it was just not all the way there for me. And then I listened to Crush, which is the second book of the Crave series, which I honestly forgot. So I actually read 7 books this month, not 6. And I feel like it was pretty uneventful. I don't really remember a whole lot of this book. I gave it 3 stars. I gave Crave 3 stars. I think this is just a little entertaining thing that I do while I work, and it's not anything that I put a whole lot of value in. But then I read Flamefall. I don't know how I forgot that this was one of my books in March. Flamefall is the second book after Fireborne, and I can't even really, like, I cannot express my love for these books enough. I will say it reminded me so much of The Selection, which if you've read The Selection, you know, anytime anything happy happens, you're thinking, oh my gosh, yes, they finally got it. Everything's ripped out from under you. This book has the same thing, and I am here to tell you, I wanted to bang my head against a wall in all the best ways. I love this book. The ending had me like gagged. I sat there at work and I was like, 5 stars. Again, love these books. Love them. And then I listened to, because the third book in the Crave series is not ready for me at the library. So I read or listened to Prince of Wolves, which is a part of the Grey Wolf series by Quinn Loftis. And guys, I'm not even going to give a rating to this book. I can't give a rating to this book. It's awful. The writing is so bad. I promise you, it's like about a girl who lives in Texas and finds her werewolf mate, and like just it's a little love story. When I tell you they fell in love in like 2 days, I literally mean 2 days. And it's just so unrealistic and awful, but like I love these books. I know it's bad. I laugh at how bad it is while I'm listening to it. And I continue to read. I think I have the first like 6, 7, maybe 8 books. This book series is like 20 books. But I have read a majority of them, and every single one is the same. But I love it. I love it, and hate me if you want to. They're awful. I don't think I would recommend it, but I love every minute of it. I think it's so funny and heartwarming, and I just love these books. So that was the last book that I listened to / read in March. I know that I'm currently reading the last book of the Aurelian Cycle, and I'm like 50% in. I cannot wait to share with you guys about that one. And then I'm also, again, listening to more of the Grey Wolf series, so I'm sure you'll hear more about that. I'll see you guys in my next video, and leave me some comments below of any books that you would recommend for me or that you've been really enjoying this month. And I will see you in May. Okay, love you guys. Bye.